What's going on, everybody? So as the tension heats up about who's going to be going to the Cavaliers, Skip Bayless came out and said Jimmy Butler is a much better player than Paul George. Now, looking at it, the way that Butler plays, I could understand, because Butler's like a vicious animal, bro. Like, he needs something to eat, and he about to get it. Paul George, bro, he just does it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, I agree with Skip Bayless with the whole assessment overall with the venom for LeBron James, and he would challenge LeBron James and all the other good stuff that he was saying. But I just think that Paul George, in my opinion, he just doesn't get enough credit. I don't think they realize how good of a player Paul George is, and a lot of people hate on him and don't realize how big he is, and how he moves, and how he plays defense, and how he's just an all-around good player. But he doesn't shine as much on the Pacers, and a lot of that has to do with a lot of the different parts that left, and the parts that are there right now. It's a really, I believe that they're in more of a rebuilding phase than they're readily able to admit. And I think that the Pacers are going to trade him for something else, because it doesn't make any sense for him to stay there. He already put out statements that he'll be leaving to go to LA and stuff like that. The only thing that concerns me is whether LeBron James would leave a year after. Like, if he goes there right now, and obviously they would want Paul George to re-sign. If Dan Gilbert starts thinking it's sweet, things might get crazy in Cleveland, and we don't know what's going to happen. Jimmy Butler, I like Jimmy Butler also, but I don't know how it would really work out with, I don't know, with LeBron and Kyrie, and then now you got this guy who is more of an aggressive attacker who may end up taking a little bit more shots. I think it could work, but I just think it works. I think it works better if they get Paul George. I think if Paul George joins LeBron and Kyrie and that's their core, I think they can beat the Warriors. Remember, they had enough to beat the Warriors this year. Dudes just didn't show up. If you really think about it, the Warriors were the better team. Let's just get out of the way. The Warriors were the better team, and I've said that many, many times. Because when you add an MVP to another two-time MVP who was one time the only unanimous MVP ever in Steph Curry, you're going to be a better team than whoever else gets there. Then you got guys that are just like silent partners. You know what I'm saying? Like Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, who comes out and ball. Then you got Iguodala, a dude that just don't give a F and comes out, does whatever he wants, and then go chill on the bench. They were just a better team. But the Cavs had game 3. They had that. We obviously know they blew them out in game 4. It should have been 2-2. It should have went further. But okay, you could blame LeBron for not finishing the game off or whatever. All that doesn't matter. The man can't rest. And next year, he's a year older, so he needs that rest. Either one of these players would allow him to get rest during the game, which would make it very, very bad for any team that they would play. That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the ability to rest LeBron James. If LeBron James can get rest, I'm telling you this right now, it's going to be a major, major problem for whatever team, because he can't sit down. And I don't know if people understand, it's a 48-minute game, bro. The man can't sit down. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, he's pitching the tent, he's barbecuing with his wife, mad stuff is going on. He can rest. That's why he comes in and does whatever he wants. It's a very, very difficult thing to play at this high level and not get any rest at all. And that's what people need to understand before they start nitpicking. Oh, he's tired. Oh, he's lazy. Oh, he's losing a step. LeBron is fine. And either one of these players would give him the rest that he needs to be able to come back and handle business. But the better player, in my opinion, for the Cavaliers would be Paul George. I like Jimmy Butler. I think he's a great player. I think he's a very, very underrated defender. Great scorer. I don't know how his leadership is. He looks like if he was on your team that he would do whatever it took to make sure that, you understood that he cared about what needed to get done and he was he's a good teammate. I just don't know if he fits the Cavs the way that Paul George does. And I don't want the locker room to be crazy. I don't want this guy to, start over talking people and coming in and doing wild stuff. I just don't see Paul George doing that. Even though he was saying dumbass stuff while they were getting beat in the playoffs this year, like, I got to take that last shot. He's just saying whatever he wants. The guy, he just wants to leave Indiana. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about him going to the Cavs and acting like an idiot. I really honestly don't believe that Butler would go there doing that either. It's just that what you see from him and his aggressiveness and that killer instinct in him might cause a little bit of craziness. But ultimately, both of these guys make the Cavs better. And either one of them, in my opinion, I will take right now over Kevin Love. Kevin Love needs to just go away, bro. Like, the dude is, I'm not saying he's a bad, he doesn't show up for what we need him for, and because of that, I don't want him at all. Listen, it's not cutthroat, it's about business. If you don't show up when it's time to show up, you can't be mad at somebody that's paying you ridiculous money to want to get rid of you. You can't be mad at that person. It's a business. Love did not show up. J.R. Smith, he didn't show up for the first 2-3 games either. Like, bro, I'll get rid of him too. Listen, I'm crazy with it. I just want to win. So, either one of these players would make LeBron James better. It'll make the Cavs better. But I prefer Paul George. I want to know who you guys prefer and who do you guys think is the better player. Overall, I think, in my opinion, that Paul George is the better player because he's an all-around better two-way player, in my opinion. Butler is raw too, but that's just my opinion. I don't agree with Skip Bayless on this. And I just think that Skip Bayless trying to ruffle some feathers, honestly, because he's a LeBron hater. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. Who do you want in the Cavs? See you guys and girls next time. One love.